Okay. Second helpings. I need to complete one last task for their automated system to grant me access to the responders database. The kiosk should have this Delbert Winter's last known location, or I could just look around and see what I can find. See what I find. Find Delbert Winters in Flatwoods. Optional. Search for Delbert Winters in the people directory. So we're going to make our way back to the directory. Oh, some quantum. Fused blood leaf tea. Grab some sugar. People directory. Delbert Winters. Responder. A rank responder. Job. Morale officer and chef. Speciality. Cooking. Preaching. Morale. Last check-in. 7 or July 24th, 2096. Last location. Delbert's home. Housing assignment. 21 Bridge Street. Notes. Runs the Flatwoods kitchens and potluck. Trains survivors in food safety. According to the people directory in the kiosk, Delbert's last known location was somewhere around his home in town. He hasn't moved in years, so it's unlikely that he's just napping. Look for Delbert Winters at his home. Luckily, it marks it on the map because I don't think there are street signs anywhere. So we know this is Church Street, or at least that's what it said. But if we continue this way, well, now it's no longer Church Street. I guess this one, because his mailbox is now on this street. He lives in this trailer. There was a dog. Oh. Oh. Oh, and he's surrounded by blood. Kesha didn't look like she was surrounded by blood. He doesn't even have a mattress. Yup. He is surrounded by blood. There's another throwing knife here. Seeing a lot of those around town. Um, well, Delbert, I need to step around you. Oh, he's a small picture frame of a priest. Well, search for the training instructions around Delbert's house. Gotta activate his terminal. Witnessing the end. Motto of the day. Today's the day. Let's read his diary first. Trying to gauge, does this go top to bottom or bottom to top? Delbert's private journal, January 15th, on faith. I needed to write down my thoughts because I was losing faith. I am ashamed to admit it. I witnessed the wrath with my own eyes. Brightest of lights filled the sky. And I thought he had come for me and those of the faith. But we remain. Why? Either he did not come or we were not good enough. I pray. I pray every moment I can. Nothing. I hear nothing. I used to hear something. I think. Did I? It's hard to remember. So long ago. February 20th. Responders. This past month, I have struggled. I cooked a lot, though. It helps keep me calm to cook. ingredients are so simple. Mix this and that, and you got yourself a food. Life, not so much. And the beyond. I don't know. I thought I did. The responders set up camp in town. They're a bunch of medical and firefighter types, and they plan to fix up survivors. I'm volunteering. This is something I know I can do. April 15th, Nightmares. Devoting myself to cooking for those survivors and running the book club and the nightly survivors guilt meetings has been good for me. But I still come home at night and I think, why? I was ready. I was ready my whole life for this. What did I do wrong? It's actually you can find where he held these guilt meetings. June 10th, Weird Cows. It makes me glad to see the responders are taking in survivors so well. We need them, Lord knows. We need to rebuild this land. I have been noticing a weird thing. Some of the animals are born different. At first, I thought it was just a random fluke. Two-headed cow. Should go to the Museum of Fakery. But then it happened again. And again. He doesn't make mistakes like this. September 1st. The flood. Weird cows are born more often than not. And I don't know what to say. Plants are weird too. Plants are merging, changing colors. I don't know what. Maybe this is a recreation of our world of what our world like after the flood. If so, we survivors had no ark, no protection. I stayed up all night cooking stew and corn pone for everyone here. There's a lot of us now. A lot of us aren't doing so good. Some have lost faith in the responders and ran to the mountains to join gangs. I pray for them. I pray for us all, mind you. Blank page. October 10th, Experiments. Weird cows continue to be weird. I heard someone who arrived from over east of here call them Brahmin. I can't remember what regular cows taste like anymore, or regular tomatoes for that matter. I've set up an experiment to monitor these things. I'm worried. What if the meat and vegetables here are hurting us? I need to keep track of this to know for sure. In the meantime, I think old prepackaged food is probably okay. Another blank page. November 8th, Gangs. A bunch of old survivors came down to the town from the mountains. They're in a gang now. They wanted stuff. They tore up my gardens and killed some cows. I'm going to start putting some extra food in the pantry just in case. And I need to remember, they have a tough time up there. There can't be much to eat in the mountains. December 25th, Our Future. I brought all the weird cows down from the nearby farms and let them loose in the pastures. I think they'll stay by because I planted a bunch of good hay in the grass here or there. In a couple months, I'll build some gardens near the houses and I'll set up some control groups of plants. He didn't take us, so I need to make sure I'm ready for when he returns. This has to be just a trial. I have to do better. I need to make sure everyone here eats well and survives until the end. April 25th, Apology. I've sunken my entire life lately into these experiments and feeding these survivors. I've asked him if this is enough. He didn't capitalize H, if he will continue, or if he will come from me. Now, silence. Is this punishment? I was in the war. I killed. I know I did these things, but I had to. They made me do it. I thought it was right, too. How can I apologize now? At Peace, June 26th. Just finished planting the community garden for next year. Figure I'll spend some time in the garden patches behind my house for a bit. It brings me peace to work the land like this, planting some seeds. Gonna see what in the hoot they turn out to be. Don't look like any kinds of seeds I know. Bless his creativity, right? Okay. Check out the potluck schedule. Today's potluck: ribeye steak, Schedule? Monday, ribeye. Tuesday, ribeye. Wednesday, ribeye. Thursday, ribeye. Friday, ribeye. Saturday, ribeye. Sunday, ribeye. Past favorites. All ribeye. Wow. Variety. Comfort Food Cookbook. Delbert's Comfort Food Cookbook. New comfort cookbook recipes detected. Updating database. It doesn't update. You can actually find a bunch of his recipes scattered around Appalachia. Volunteer training. Delbert wants every volunteer to cook one meal for today's potluck. Today's menu is Survivor's Basic Ribeye Steak. Instructions. Get some meat from one of the local cows. Toss it on the fire until it stops oozing. That's disgusting. Was there no holotape in this? There was not. Delbert was working on ribeye for the potluck. I can follow his instructions to make some ribeye of my own. Cook a ribeye steak. Optional. Get a piece of Brahmin meat. Well, that's not really optional because you can't cook the ribeye steak without the Brahmin meat. So, I think it wants you to kill one, but you can just loot it from a body. There's numerous ones around town. If you remember his terminal, he said that the gangs came down from the mountains and killed a bunch of their Brahmin. What's this? Free cooking lessons. Delicious and free cooking lessons. Just outside Flatwoods Tavern in the parking lot. Reverend Delbert Winters leads cooking lessons every day. Free to all survivors. Come get fed and learn how to cook the old-fashioned way. Menu. Reverend Winters' famous Appalachili. Corn pone. Pone? Pawn? Yum. Cranburgers. It's definitely meat. Probably. At least some of it. Kindly refer to your local friendly responder for details and class schedules. You can actually find people in random encounters, not people, dead bodies in random encounters that have Appalachili and cranburgers. The only one I have not found in a random encounter is the corn pone. Let's go ahead and make ourselves a Brahmin steak. Or a ribeye steak. All food. Cook it till it stops oozing. Now that I've successfully cooked a ribeye steak, I should return to the self-service kiosk and update my volunteer status. Check in with the self-service kiosk.
I bet this town was really nice before the war.
Excuse me. Complete training. Motto of the day, help yourself, then help others. Updating volunteer status with the responders database. Done. Congratulations, volunteer. Granting access to the responders database. Done. Contact the responders using the database. Before we do that, if we go up this way, walk past the Brahmin, we'll find the meeting hall. This is where Delbert held the guilt meetings. Odd that her hands are up. I believe that this is not someone that was in a funeral. This is someone that was hiding when the bombs dropped, because why would she be not wearing an appropriate dress and have her hand covering her face? No, this sadly was someone who thought that this casket would protect her from the bombs. So he has some whiskey over here. I think it's a randomly generated alcohol. It might be whiskey every time, and a shot glass, because people are here grieving. He has some coffee. Get your sugar, get your cream. A bunch of chairs, a bunch of knocked over chairs, possibly thrown. Right here, dealing with survivor's guilt. Dealing with survivor's guilt. Step 1. Learning how to forgive yourself. This can take a long time. In fact, it can take a lifetime. You survive something tragic, and that's difficult for anybody. Step 2. Find someone to talk to. Remember them. There's a bunch of flowers, a bunch of picture frames, some bubble gum, a bear, soot flower. Guest book. Guest book. It's in his hands now. Delbert. I know my dad and brother are okay, but I lost so many friends. So many. I think of them constantly. I only hope some of them made it. Dasa. I just hope everybody's okay in the vaults. Willie Mae. When doors close, another door opens. Or maybe a window. Miguel. We don't need to grieve because nobody really died. They're just different now. Scott. I didn't lose anybody in the war. In fact, I have a better life now. But condolences to anyone who lost loved ones. Gary. Grieving is not very productive. Lucas. There's also a baby rattle here. We'll do the ones over here first. Sorry. Sorry, my name is Tabitha. Or sorry, my name is Tabitha. And I'm an addict. I was told this type of thing can help me recover. Cassidy, I shouldn't have said any of that at all. I was cruel to you. Patty, you were right. I knew it at the time, too. Sink, you were an asshole. But so I was too. We both hurt each other. Equally. Sky, you are amazing. I never told you. I should have said it. I should have said it to you every day. Toby, I stole it. I was messed up at the time, but it's no excuse. Pete, you deserved better. Lillian, I lied to your face about it. You were right. Peggy, I ignored you when you needed me the most. Allison, I just stopped talking to you. And I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. Carrie L? I never paid you back for all of your help. I used you. Hunter, I took advantage of you when you were at your weakest. Lisa, your advice would have helped and I ignored you. Nothing helps. Sorry, Tabitha. Haha, they're all dead. And you hurt them. They suffered because of you, honey. Cuddles, Sophie. So we'll start with, I believe it's Dear Daddy. Daddy, if you read this, I am now staying in the bell tower in the church. I have cereal and games and a sleeping bag for both of us. I will be waiting. I love you, Colonel. I miss you, Dad. Dear Dad, I wrote you a letter last month, and Delbert asked me to write you another letter. He said it will find you. I just wanted to say that I am doing okay. Everybody is taking care of me. I miss you. forgive you, Dad. I forgive you, Dad. I get it now. Taking care of kids is hard, and it was too hard for you. You were young, and it was just too much. I get it. I do. I'm an adult now, too, and, well, it took a long time to understand why you did it. I'm not mad, though. But I'm going to do the opposite of what you did. I'm going to find kids and make sure they're okay. I love you. I forgive you. But you don't need to come home anymore, Colonel. So Colonel's dad seemed to have disappeared. It's not very, it's not really explained. Did he disappear before the bombs dropped? Because that's kind of what his notes are implying. Whereas if he died in the nuke explosions, like his notes aren't suggesting that. He's trying to say, at least in this note, because this is him older. So if he would have said something about, you died in the explosion or in the nuclear stuff that had happened, I believe he would have said that in these notes. So I think his dad actually left before the bombs dropped or after the bombs dropped. Maybe his father went to join the gangs and abandoned his son and left him here. And Tabitha is an addict who's apologizing for things. And then we also have little Sophie. We'll meet them in the next video. When we go around the town and find all of the responders. Well, all the responders' corpses. So let's go ahead and activate the responders database terminal. Requests? When responders return to Flatwoods soon, we will process your requests. Stay nearby and use the provided emergency supplies and robots. New patient, metals. Transcribed from the volunteers' bot's records. Everything hurts. Literally everything. I don't even know what happened. I tuned in to the radio station and heard about this place, but nobody here knows where y'all went off to. New patient, Chris. Transcript from the volunteer bot's records. I was running and broke all my toes, and my nose won't stop running on the top of everything. I was getting attacked by some horrible messed up person, and then I started feeling sick. I think he died. His skin was on fire. I kept running. That's when I broke my toes. I'm just going to lie down a bit. I just feel bad. Comment from Metals. Yeah, that guy who signed in yesterday with the sniffles and broken toes just died, I guess. He turned to me and said, maybe I ate something bad. And that was it. I'll bury him in the back. This ain't my job, you know. You're welcome. New patient, Colin. I figured I could get some training here from professionals, survival type training. I'm going to work on the volunteer responder program. I heard if you get access, you get a bunch of rations and rugged survival equipment. So I'm going to do that. Oh, make leader. I didn't realize it gave me their last names too. Balthazar. Oh, his name is Chris. Okay. New patient, Mike. Mike Schuyler. I used to be a member of a bunker to the east. We had plenty of food and water, or so I thought. People got nervous. There was a fight. Anyway, I left, but I don't have any supplies. Heard about this place on the radio, so here I am, just here to trade, really. Comment from Colin. That guy who just signed in took some supplies and left some other supplies in trade. Took most of the water and food, though. He said he was going to some asylum somewhere and would need it more. But he left us with some armor, so that was good. Hmm. Mike headed off to some asylum somewhere. Maybe we can find out more about him later. New patient, Dr. Vin. I have been eating nothing but Blamco mac and cheese and sugar bombs and Instamash with Nuka-Colas for years, even before the bombs. But lately, it seems to give me the shakes. I'm a doctor, though. A doctor of doctor of philosophy, not medicine. So I came here to see if anyone could tell me if there's something I can take for my stomach aches and shakes. Comment from Dr. Vin. Sending in some feedback on the robot. It's out of all of its supplies. I've been grabbing supplies from the nearby houses in town, so there's enough for most of us. The robots need to be refilled. New patient, Brad. Brad Hooper. Constant headaches. I was trying to survive up near the old Vault Tech vault. Had a nice shack by a pond. Even made my own liquor. Things were fine, but then I got attacked by a bunch of giant bugs. Now my head is killing me. Just there. Just where is everyone anyway? So he's actually talking about the Moonshiner's shack. Comment from Dr. Vin. It seems like the responders should have communicated with this outpost by now. Cullen is now a volunteer responder, and he found some resources using the database. He found info in the database that showed us where the responders are now. We're going to find them now. Log in. Let's see if we can find them. What happens if we're a guest? Welcome, guest. Flatwoods responder services are currently offline. Please use the volunteer bot if you need assistance. Accessing database. Access denied. Let's print that newsletter. We have the Flatwoods Gazette. Flatwoods Gazette. Is that the current date? I actually don't know. 6/16/96. Volunteers needed. We need people to feed and shelter survivors. Use the volunteer into kiosks in the tavern to get signed up. We'll train you to do everything and we'll provide you with food and armor to stay strong. Jobs. Kitchen cook. Too many mouths. Not enough cooks. Contact Delbert. Archivists. Need someone to catalog holotapes. See DASA. Community. Cows. Can we talk about them at the next town meeting? It's getting weird. Personal cook-off. You won the chili contest and my heart. Hotel suite. 8 p.m. Ooh. Okay. Alright then. Let's log in. Let's volunteer. Emergency Contact Responders HQ. Just added a bunch of things to our map. Morgantown Airport, Golly Mines, Slocum's Show, Morgantown. Contact Head Responders HQ, Morgantown Airport. Establishing connection, done. Message received. 1. Displaying. Urgent message. A large horde of Scorched is on the move and might be headed for our main base at Morgantown Airport. All personnel are requested to report to HQ as soon as possible. Bring weapons and medical supplies. Maria Chavez. Connection terminated. And we're going to start final departure. Here, right here in Flatwoods, you'll find his Appalachili. Get some tomatoes, the uglier the better. Add some beef, doesn't matter the quality. Just a handful of garden beans, not the canned junk. Add some cleaned up rainwater for the earth taste. Mix it up real good, then simmer over a fire for a good long while. you go. Appalachia chili. One of his first recipes you'll probably run into is here at Tyler County Fairgrounds in the Funnel Fun. Delbert's corn pone. Pone. I don't know how to pronounce this. Never even heard of it. Sweet corn or some corn cobs. Just roll the kernels off. Stir in one of the slimy big eggs from that crabby things in the river. Dabble in some of its filth water, boiled up. Crumble some sugar all over the top. Mix it up real good, then fry it up in a pan on the open fire. Praise and eat with a good side of whiskey. So there you go. Okay, at Aaron Holt Homestead, if you go into the house on the right, or left, I mean, house on the left, you'll find Delbert's Mud Cookie. Mix up egg and stout until runny. Stir in your grain to stiffen. Add a dash of rough water for kick. Cook up like a thick omelet. Admire the heavy stout flavor. May get crispy if you like. Eat hot or cold. Keeps well if you like the taste of waterlogged wood. Okay. That should be all of his recipes. At Silva Homestead in the forest, one of the few places that has Halloween decorations considering it was October when the bombs fell. If you go into their kitchen, you'll find Delbert's Tato Salad Surprise. Chop up some potatoes into cubes. Melt sugars into husky water to get a brown molasses. Mix up and top with a handful of thistle. Heat up till it's soft and hearty. Enough spit. Is that the surprise? Enough spit to give a kick in a patooter, and not a drop of booze. Well, I think I'd rather have the booze.
Next is sell back to Raph.
That's nice. In the Toxic Valley at Wavy Willard's Water Park, you'll need to pick the lock to get to it, but here in the Candy Beverages concession stand, you can find Delbert's delicious deer skins. Get a big deer, don't matter how. Slice the meat up as thin as can be. Wash it. Cover hide in thistle and bourbon. Rub some charred grasses over it for flavor. Fry it up on a fire pit for the extra smoky flavor. And give thanks to him for such a bounty. And there's Jangles. Hey, Jangles. He has a recipe here in Welch, the ash heap. If you go into the second house, behind the post office, right here, Delbert's Sunshine Oil. Mash up a crop of blight for its oil. Crush some sugar bombs for flavor. Secret ingredient, glowing blood for that special kick. Moonshine helps get you to sleep, but sunshine oil keeps you awake and regular, extra regular. If this don't keep you awake, you're probably dead. Yeah, good job, Delbert. Oh, here at Spruce Knob in the Savage Divide South. If you're at the boating store, go over here to the table. You can find Delbert's traditional chitlins. Grind up innards and meat from a wolf. Whisk some sap and water to get yourself a syrup. After the bombs, most other innards don't hold up too well with the syrup. Wolves eat meat, so they're still chewy on the inside. Add syrup to make it almost like taffy. Stir it up and cook it as regular. In a fry pan, it is ideal. Parts will get all crispy. Rejoice in that smoke flavor. Okay. Sounds good. In the Savage Divide, here at Beckwith's farm. Go past the flag. You can find this little area. Right here on the campfire. Delbert's Mountain Hawks. Get a couple bits of rat meat, smash them together with sticky sap, simmer it up in vodka. Slap it on a griddle and cook it till it bleeds out. Give thanks and chow down. Taking rads from all the radiation here on the farm. Bit odd. Here in the mire at the retreat, just above.
Big guns. They pack a heck of a punch. I wonder what everyone's doing today.
Nice. Just above the power armor frame. Do not come in. Next.
Ferals don't get you. Rads will.
Next to Lorne's terminal, you can find Delbert's Pothole Pot Pie. Couple critters, some of their natural dirt water, cake crumbles. Sing praise for this recipe here, because it'll keep you going.
I never thought I could feel so at home in the apocalypse. Real nice view up here.
When you can't no more, cook up your critters on the skillet, saute in a little of their own juices, then scoop into a tin and cover with cake crumbs. Bake until it smells right. Okay. Delbert's Sweet Labrador Tea. Can't read these. Oh. Really thought you could. The recipe is found at Rayleigh Clay's bunker in the mire. All the way up here. So apparently in the files, people have data mined to figure out what it says. Delbert's Sweet Labrador Tea. Crush up some dried rhododendrons, however you pronounce that flower. Steep them with boiled water. Pluck a full honeycomb in it. Add a couple berries for health. Let it sit for a good while. Then add yourself some more honey. Just in case. Granny used this every day that things weren't moving quite right. Or, if she was in the doldrums, fixed her right up. One of his recipes can be found here in the bog, Superior Sunset Farm. Just gotta get to the basement. Beware that there are mirelurks here, as well as large guano piles. But pinned to the wall, Delbert's Company Tea. I'm not going to bother collecting it because I already own it, but I will read you what it says. Delbert's Company Tea. Take a nice Labrador tea, add a dash of cream or milk, add some whiskey for good measure, add a splash of Nuka-Cola for some fizzle. Made up when company visits. I was thinking of companies like businesses, but no, when company visits and wants to sit and chat about life. give out a couple of good drinks, and stop worrying so much. There is a recipe here at Mac's farm. You go through the destroyed doorway. Right here, it's Delbert's Granny's Sweet Tea. Crush up some dried purple soot flowers. Steep in boiled water with cranberries. Just add a bunch of sugar bombs in it. Nobody will guess. Good for that late day pick me up and praise. Yep. In the bog here at the General Steakhouse. You go inside past this funny little scene of the kid who tried to go off a sweet jump.
Getting hungry.
It's nice. I couldn't find him, so he's just going to exist here. You want to make your way to the kitchen, so go into the main room.
I'm hearing stuff.
Then go downstairs. Go downstairs again. On this main counter, you can find Delbert's bunless cram burger. Scoop some cram into a bowl. Mix it up with an egg and water. Dab of ketchup or something. Smash into patties and fry up as per normal. Get yourself a bun or lettuce or what have you and eat it up. Hallelujah. Even though he calls it bunless, he tells you to get a bun. Alright.